Welcome back to another episode of Big Deb Energy Podcast, the podcast where we talk about anything but what? Politics, you already know. Which today we're actually going to talk about a spooky story in honor of fall being right around the corner, even though I'm devastated. You all know I'm a summer baby, but I like to embrace the season. I can't change how things are going to go, so might as well have fun and get festive. I honestly haven't really had a lot of creepy experiences in my life. Lucky, like, knock on wood, to be honest. However, there were a few times in my life where I had to question if we actually know everything that is on this planet, which obviously we don't, right? But maybe we don't even want to know what those things are. Before I get started, I wanted to show you my earrings. What do you think? 90s baby. 90s baby forever. But yeah, Pac-Man was the shit. Who else was obsessed with Pac-Man? There used to be this pizza place that I would go to near my grade school. They had the Pac-Man. Oh my god. I actually beat the game. I had my mom in that pizza place for like 3 hours at a time just going hard on this Pac-Man. It was insane. And then, of course, when I got a PS2, I had the Pac-Man game. So yeah, shout out to Pac-Man. I'm obsessed with these earrings. Honestly, I can't even shout out where I got them because I really don't remember who made them. I should have saved the packaging, but they're like a little boutique in this like kind of mall type of thing near Cape May. It's not a mall though. It's like just one of those types of places that, like a small building with different vendors and stuff. I wouldn't call it a farmer's market. There was no food. It was just like a bunch of random stuff, but this little shop had earrings, and they had so many cute earrings, but I didn't want to go crazy, so I'm not really a dangly earring person to begin with. I usually rock studs, but you gotta switch it up sometimes. But she had so many cute earrings there, and I really wanted so many of them, but I got these because they were the best ones, obviously. So anyway, some of you may know I used to live in Delaware. It was brief, very brief. Only a year because my roommate was the worst, worse than me. But that's for another time. But if you're asking, yes, she was the one overcharging me for like the utility bills and stuff and trying to white out the bills. Anyway, it's a shame because the fact that I never actually got to know Delaware that well. I always had to use my GPS driving around there. And I don't really know names of towns, streets. Like, I know there's Delaware. I lived in Wilmington. Then there's Newcastle. What else? I can't even think of the other areas. But I'm saying near me. I know other parts that are further, but near Wilmington, Newcastle, Claymont. It wasn't any of those. I was going to one of the Walmarts that would have been closest to me. Maybe it was Newcastle. I'm going to have to check. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say that it's Newcastle. So, I'm on the phone with my boyfriend at the time. I'm driving to Walmart. I'm on the highway. I take an exit. once again, I'm not sure where I was exactly. I don't know what exit. I really don't know. I was just following the GPS. So I took the exit, and it was a wide right turn. And as I'm turning, now mind you, it wasn't dark. At this point, it was starting to get dark. So I would say maybe 7 p.m. at the time. And so it's pretty light out. I could see. My vision is not distorted by all means. So, I'm cracking up at this text I just got. You ever text somebody or message somebody and, like, they answer hours later and you just start laughing because, like, it was about something funny and they just reminded you? Whatever, you know what I mean. Anyway, back to the story. So as I'm turning, I could clearly see what I'm seeing. But, like, to an extent. But I know what I saw. So, the best way to describe what I saw. So, I'm wrapping around, right? So, on both sides of, there's not, put it this way, the spot that I was in, no other traffic could see me. There was no one to the left, like driving in the opposite direction, if that makes sense. And there was just woods to my right. So, like, it's me, and there's no one behind me. There's nobody in front of me. I see out of nowhere. So there's all grass to me on the left, right? I just see out of nowhere this thing. It was big enough. It was bigger than a beaver or a possum. But it was crawling. And it was black. And the arms were pointed up so high. It had big arms. It almost looked like a huge spider. But this thing was big. It wasn't a bear, though. It wasn't as big as a bear. Think large dog. Medium dog, schmedium, I don't know, not a large dog, but it wasn't shaped, it's just hard to explain. I'm gonna have to draw it for you. So it had these big pointy arms and it jumped out of the grass. But I'm on the phone with my boyfriend, as I mentioned, right? I literally said, "What the fuck is that?" We're in the middle of a conversation. I said, "What the fuck is that?" And, like, my foot, like, I didn't slam on my brakes, but I started slowing down. And I'm like, this thing moved so fast. I've never seen something like that in my life. And the way that the legs moved was similar to, like, pretend like you saw, like, a cartoon spider, like, wiggle away. That's, like, what it looked like. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't even get that good of a glimpse of what the fuck it was, if it had a face. It moved so fast, and it just jumped into the woods. Don't say, why don't you have a picture or video? When I tell you this happened so fast and I was driving, if I tried to get a picture, I probably wouldn't be alive today to tell you the story. It happened so fast, but I know what I saw. I'm going to have to draw a picture the best to my ability, just so you could get an idea. I'm really trying to draw this as best as I can. And that thing hopped in the woods so fast, I turned my head. I didn't see it, but I've never heard of anybody seeing something like this. This is the best way. The arms, though, I need to emphasize, honestly, they might have been even taller, like up to there. That's the one part I think that freaked me out the most, was the fucking arms. Do spiders get that big? I mean, I don't know. I never seen a spider that big. Like, I heard of that in, like, Australia and Japan, not here. That shit, I'm telling you, that shit, it couldn't have even been animals that you would think it would be crossing the highway due to how it moved. It, like, glided away in such a way. It was like it was using its tippy toes to just glide. And then it just jumped into the woods, and I never seen it again. And that was the craziest thing that I ever fucking seen in my life. These fucking legs were big and pointy. I don't know. So I have seen some different creatures online that kind of resemble those features. But also, maybe I didn't get the best of a look. Maybe it was shape-shifting. I don't know. There's so much out there that we can't explain and that we probably may never actually have answers to. But if you have ever seen anything like this, let me know in the comments. And until then, it's really a mystery. And I'm telling you, I know what I saw, and even though it was quick, something wasn't right about this thing. Something was off. It was something that we may not know about yet in this lifetime. But thank you so much for listening, and get ready for some more spooky stories. If you have any crazy stories that you would like to share, please share in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.